But one more person is unable to. Just give me a minute. I try to contact
Okay.
over phone. Let me
Mm.
just. You can put recording on pause for a while. We'll
Mm.
see.
Okay.
Recording. So today I'll be starting with the first topic, which is very basic information about enterprise structure. You will have to make some notes. Please be ready with a book and pen, and
Okay.
please have a habit of making this. That will be helpful for you as a reference, of course, material as and when we progress. Anyways, we'll be having a lot of interaction in terms of PPT and also the screen of SAP server. But still, this will be a ready notes for you, and it will help you out in looking into the topics that has been covered, and it will also give you the stepwise information. So that would be better. Okay. Anyways, we'll proceed with this enterprise structure. So, what comes to your mind when I say enterprise structure? All of you are working professionals. So, what comes to your mind? Enterprise structure. What is enterprise? Or what is enterprise structure? You can tell in simple words that you would like to. It's not a standard definition required, but concept part of this is required because what happens in real time, they will ask you certain questions which are related to these concepts. It's not directly to define. I'll give this information in very early stage. You may feel it very early, but still this is required for you to have a proper clarity about your responsibility before proceeding with the configuration part. See, in any company, any organization, we have different departments. Okay, and we have something called ERP. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. You have ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, isn't it?
Yes,
ERP
sir.
ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ERP ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ನೆನಪಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? Enterprise Resource Planning. Probably you are sending certain reports. Are you sending towards the month end or
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
something like
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
monthly information
ಮಂತ್ಲಿ
report
ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್.
or so?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ?
ಮಂತ್ಲಿ, ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ಲಿ.
monthly reports ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ?
ಹೌದು.
MIS.
Okay. MIS ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Monthly information report you will be sharing with them. So
Yes.
enterprise you have different departments. ಅದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು? Please take this
Data. Yes, sir.
the concept part before proceeding. We will have to understand how to handle the tool and also understand why are we doing these things. ಅದೆರಡು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಾವು. ಟೂಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಫೈನ್, ಬಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಎಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿ ನೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್, ಅಸಿಸ್ಟ್ and do force a service to their requirement. This is what any client will be expecting. This is required. See, enterprise resource, when I say resource in general, it is about man or human power, machine or infrastructure, labor, of course, apart from intellectual work that you do, another set of people who are also required probably for manual work which is required, and also apart from that the money time invested, how to utilize these things in an optimum way. So when you are sending certain reports towards the end of the month, that also gives any sort of significant achievement that you have done in that particular month, or probably certain updates which are required for the organization and so on. So that's how it is helpful for them. They can plan further. ERP ಅನ್ನೋದೇ planning ಗೋಸ್ಕರ how to utilize these things to the maximum or optimum level in order to provide better service and also gain better profits. Of course, that's the motive of the business, and exist better in the business line. Now, coming to enterprise, in this regard, we should understand the enterprise, how it is structured in any company. You can make a note of this. An enterprise is a large establishment. Let's start making few points. An enterprise is a large establishment of multiple units of multiple units multiple units. Each unit each unit will be responsible for each unit will be responsible for performing a distinct business process. A distinct business process. Example, production, sales, procurement, etc. Production, sales, procurement, etc. The organizational structure or enterprise structure is a hierarchy of business units of business units of the organization of the organization. This provides clear understanding a clear understanding of the units of the units and the relationship among them and the relationship among them. Please observe the screen. Hope you are able to see the PPT. Hope it is appearing for you.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay? See, I have given certain units here. You can observe them. I'll also would like to mention this in this discussion itself, just to make it very clear. See, any company, in fact, when you are providing service to the client, it has to be registered under the Companies Act of that particular law of the land, wherever it is operating in, that provides the legal sanctity for that company or business. Also, client can have many, probably they can handle many business. They can be into production also, maintenance also, sales also, or service also. They can be into many things. Like for example, just to take one or two, you would have heard about Bajaj and Tata. They are into electronics, home appliances, automobiles, spares, service, like this. So they are handling multifacets of business. So client can handle like that. They can have many as such. But when a project is assigned for you in order to develop the server, SAP server, then you are going to develop that particular server for a particular business that they are willing to extend with SAP. A particular business they are willing to. Client occupies the topmost rank in the hierarchy because client is the person who is providing you the job. Of course, client is the person who is providing you the project. So we are going to provide service for the requirement of the client. Thus, client occupies topmost position. The company is autonomous unit under the client. As I said, one client can have multiple companies running. For a project, it will be one company only. And company code, actually, it connects with financial accounts, which is a core part of your job. In fact, as finance consultants, many accounts are to be defined for finance, like general ledger account, general ledger accounts, bank accounts, asset accounts, of course, credit, debit, liabilities, all these reconciliation accounts, bank accounts, travel management, controlling, all these you are going to create, particularly to meet the business requirements of the client. You are going to create. Please remember, company code will be created by FICO. I have mentioned that here. FICO will create company and company code. But whereas you have some other units like plant, storage location, purchasing organization. You also have sales organization. It is part of SD, sales and distribution, in fact. But still, I am giving you this information. Sales organization. Sales organization by SD, sales and distribution. They will create it. And when certain queries are raised through sales organization, like sales inquiry, sales quotation, also sales orders, you are going to send out the materials. And when certain other documents, purchase related documents like purchase order, purchase requisitions, etc., are raised, they are sent to vendors and you are going to receive materials. So whenever materials are moved into the company, movement is to the company, then money will be paid from the company. So you are making payment to vendor, you are receiving materials from vendors. Same when it comes to sales organization, you are sending out materials or service and you are receiving money from the customers. Okay, sales and distribution, they always interact with customers. Okay, this is clear. Sales
Yes, sir.
organization, they interact with customers. Purchasing organization, they interact with vendors. So whenever you purchase something, you have to make payment. Whenever you are selling out something, you will be receiving the payment. So these two things, purchase organization, sales organization. Now getting back to our discussion about company code. Company, autonomous unit under the client, and company code, financial accounts are defined for company codes, and they company code particularly with the help of other subordinate units like plant, storage location, purchasing organization, etc., are going to run. So you should have a clarity of who is creating what. Similarly, when a person from probably materials management, they cannot say that I have created company codes or company, and you also cannot say that you have created purchasing organizations. If in the interview, let us say you go to an interview, probably you have practiced with 3 to 4 enterprise structures. Just imagine you are in front of the panel and they'll ask you, okay, you would have mentioned that you have created some, rather you have worked for enterprise structure. That is one of your roles in one of the projects that you have mentioned in the CV. Now the question will be asked to you, did you create enterprise structure? You may say yes. Do you know how to create company or company code, or what was your role in enterprise structure? You may say I have created company code. You may say purchasing organization also. Let us say they'll ask you, then further question will be, how many company codes did you create, or how many companies did you create? If you say out of your practice, just recollecting that I have created 5 or 4, some number. You tell me, will any client would require for one project creation of 4 companies? Is it required?
Not required, I think.
Not required, right? One
Mm.
project, one company, right?
Yes.
So what does that reveal to them? Reveal to the panel? You have answered them saying that you don't have much understanding about the creation of these things. Why is it created? What is the purpose?
Yes, sir.
So secondly, what they do is, okay, that part is over. They'll ask you, okay, tell me what is the path, or how did you create, or how did you assign, These kind of things they'll ask just to check whether you have good command over how to operate on the software. So the previous part is over. They'll not ask that question again. It's over. So they got certain message from you. So this is how the interview will be based. That is the reason I'm just telling these things in very early stage. Don't mind.
Okay.
That is something as a business understanding and clarity you should have in mind before proceeding. Okay, we'll proceed further. See, purchasing organization, procurement department, they are going to procure materials. Similarly, sales, they are going to sell through different sales channels, or there are different channels like distribution channel, wholesale, retail, end customer, etc. Storage location is used to store the materials like semi-finished, finished, scrap, raw materials, etc. It is used to store. Now, this is something that you should be aware of. I'll be providing you few statements for each. Let us see that. You can write down client. Client. SAP ERP system. SAP ERP system is installed. Is installed to implement the business process. To implement the business process of the client. Of the client. Client occupies the topmost level. Client occupies the topmost level of the organizational structure. Of the organizational structure. Then company. Company represents an autonomous unit of the enterprise. It represents an autonomous unit of the enterprise. Company code. Company code. This executes the business process. This executes the business process with the subordinate units. With the subordinate units. For each company code, financial accounts are created. For each company code, financial accounts are created. This is required to calculate the overall profit or loss. Overall profit or loss. Financial accounts are legal. They are legal and to be prepared by authorized personnel authorized personnel and further endorsed by the management. The management. Next, plant. Plant is a factory under a company. Plant is a factory under a company where the activities such as production, sales, maintenance, etc. are performed. Production, maintenance, sales, etc. are performed. And storage location is not required for you. See, plant is created by logistics general, they'll create it. Storage location is by purchasing organization is by sales organization by SD. Anyway, you can just make a note. Actually, the other person is with requirement. I'm just giving it in general. You can just make a note. Storage location is used to store the stock material stock material such as raw materials, raw materials, comma, semi-finished materials, semi-finished materials, or finished materials, finished materials, also scrap, also scrap. Purchasing organization, purchasing organization used to carry out purchasing process. Is used to carry out purchasing process as required as required by different departments, as required by different departments. So I'll stop this PPT. Hope the screen is new to you all, SAP server screen.
Yes, sir.
So I'll just introduce to screen today. You can observe the screen. I'm just logging in.
Okay.
Is it appearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Have you got the access by now or yet
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
to get? Access ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ಯಾ
ಇಲ್ಲ sir.
SAP server?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್
ನಂಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ sir.
ನನಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ.
Okay, okay, okay. ಹೋಗ್ಲಾ? ಕೊಡಿ. ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ವಿಚಾರಿಸಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ಒಂದೆರಡು ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಂಜಿಂಗ್.
Okay, sir.
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಈಗ?
Yes, sir.
ಸರ್ವರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Yes, sir.
ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವಿರೋದು SAP ಮೆನು ಅಂತ. We have two. One is business workplace and that is SAP menu. So if I shift to business workplace, it will give you a different view with inbox, outbox, resubmission, private folders, and other things. We are not working with this. You can shift back to SAP menu. SAP menu ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇದು main menu, as I told you. SAP menu ಅಂತ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, here we have logistics, accounting, all under this. Now coming to edit, this is to execute. In order to execute certain command, we are going to click on that, or you can click on this green color tick mark also. Continue ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೇವರೇಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫೇವರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸೇ ಈಗ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್, ಜನರಲ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ಇದೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಇದೆ. ಈಗ FB50 ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಾತ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪಾತ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ FB15 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೋಡ್. ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್, ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೋಡ್. These things eventually will get to know, it will unfold. Now, if I have to add this under favorites, I can just click on this so that it appears here. Every time
Okay.
I do not have to take this path, I can double click on this to proceed. That's where favorites is useful for me, or I can delete this option. Delete ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
Okay.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ FB50 ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. You go to settings here, just remove these technical names. Click on tick mark. So if I again do the same, accounting ಹೋಗ್ತೇನೆ, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry, I have nothing here.
Okay.
It was earlier stick codes. So that technical information, it should be turned on. It should be on. So then only I'll be able to see that information. If I repeat the same, I'll be able to find it. I'm telling these things because you should not wonder if it is disappearing at times.
Okay.
Somebody would have done that knowingly or unknowingly. So extra is system information. GUI and the graphical user interface ಅಂತ. If I have to open up a new window similar to this, I can use this new GUI, or to close, I can use this. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಬಟನ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಫ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ, ಗ್ಲಾಸರಿ, ಇದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಟು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಆರ್ ಟು ಎಂಟರ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ.
Okay.
Now you saw this SPROFS00. Instead of taking that path, I can directly enter the T code. The SPRO ಅನ್ನೋದು it will be under tools. Under tools, customizing IMG. See, IMG stands for implementation guide. SPRO stands for SAP Project Reference Object ಅಂತ.
Okay.
Project Reference Object. So this SPRO ಅದನ್ನೇ favorites ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿರೋದು. So
Hmm.
instead of taking this path, I can directly enter /n. It is like control n. ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ /n ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಫಿಕ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟಿ ಕೋಡ್. ಅಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿತ್ ಟಿ ಕೋಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್. ಈಗ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್. So instead of taking the path, I have an option to use this as well.
Okay.
And at the bottom right corner, you can see the session manager. Let it be always in transaction mode so that you get to know how to T code. So this is about the screen. Idu print to search, to move up and down, to open a new GUI. So we have less than a minute. We'll just conclude it here for today.
Okay.
I'll take up by then, try to get access to the server.
Okay.
We'll see tomorrow. I'll just update the time in the group.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.